Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of 944 build. In this episode we're getting brand new seats and a harness. And then this is where I pretend I drive away. But anyway, that's what we're doing. Stay tuned. Alright guys, check it out. So here are my seats. I bought these about 9 months ago. They've been in the box this whole time and whatnot. Anyway, this is what it looks like. This is the driver's seat. It got a lot of this nice look to it, and it has those things for the seat belts, which if we look over here, I got these two 4-point Sparco harnesses. I'm not gonna use the stock seat belts. I don't even have them anymore, and they're pretty old. So I like the idea of having these 4-point harnesses because this is gonna be a nice daily driver, which is gonna be extra safe because we got no airbags and all the other stuff. But anyway, that's the plan for today. We gotta install these seats, and the problem with those seats are we gotta have to make it fit into here. So on this side I have the original 4 bolts here, 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 and here, and they don't fit. So what I'm gonna have to do is tap into this to this, and then maybe weld on a plate right here and right here, or cut this off, move it back, whatnot. I'm not quite sure exactly how it's gonna be, but that's what's gonna have to be done. And that's on the passenger seat. The passenger seat is pretty simple. I'm not really picky about how far it is, how close it is, but on the driver's seat it's a little worse than that. Move some of this stuff. So on the driver's seat, I got a lot of this wiring here, and before I can start doing wiring, I have to make sure my seats are welded in, because I don't want to burn the wires later when I wired it all up and then have to move it, blah 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 blah. So over here where I had the 4 bolts, this plate it rotted out, so I had to replace this side section of the floor pan from right here to here. And then also right here the bolt was stripped, it got pulled out like that. And so I'm gonna just redo this whole thing. I'm gonna figure out where I want the bolts first, take the rails off the seats, and then mark where I want it. And then I was thinking to use some of these 2x2s, and kind of like, if it's gonna go like this, put it like that, and then weld it in, support it, add extra support so it sticks and doesn't go anywhere. Because on these I'll have to also make holes for my 4-point harnesses. I'm gonna have to have this bolt onto something extra sturdy, so I'm gonna have to reinforce the floors and the sides or wherever I'm gonna attach this, and also the back things. So that's the plan. I gotta figure out how I'm gonna do it, and then also install them. And so what I'm probably gonna end up doing is pulling all those wiring out or into the back, weld up all this, clean it up, and I also got a dynamite to sound insulate the floor, the sides, the front, before I can do wiring. Yeah, so that's the plan. I need to weld in the new brackets for the seats, brackets for the seat belts, or make those work together somehow. And also gotta insulate, sound detonate the interior before I start doing the wiring. On my wiring, a lot of this is gonna have to get cut, and the idea is to connect everything, put everything where it's supposed to go, and then start cutting one wire at a time. And so the idea would be get rid of half of this crap, or 80% of it. A lot of stuff I don't need, I don't use, and not going to need. And so I don't want to have this looms of nightmare just chilling in my interior. And so yeah, let's get to it. I'm gonna take the bracket off and see how it looks on the car. So the issue I'm running into, I have to even this out, right? So on the stock seats, this pillar's higher up, this one's lower down. But on my seats, it needs to be first all the way back here. And also, so I'm not gonna use these because the bolts don't fit, the ones I have, and to cut them out, move them, it's a lot of work. So, and the other issue I'm running into is when you take the rails off, they just completely come apart, so you can't even get the right measurement that you need. So what I was thinking is grab this bar, have it like this, so it bolts on, and then make one on the other side. That way when I take the rail off, the whole thing will come off with it. So in order to do that, I marked off 2 spots where the bolts are gonna go, and I drilled out a hole, and the hole's almost big enough to fit the bolt all the way through, but not quite. So I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna just weld it all around, and that way if I have a bolt which is gonna go on the rail of the seat, it's just gonna go and screw it in like that. So I'm gonna do that. And also on the other side, on the front side, I don't need to build up this because I'm gonna have, I already have this high enough. So either I'm gonna put the rail down, see where I need to, mark it off, and maybe just tap it into this, or something else. So I'm gonna weld this up really quick and then see how it goes and test fit it and go on from there. I got this thing bolted on, and now so this is the harness that I got for the seatbelt, and so I'm gonna have to tap 2 more bolts that will go right in here like this, and then it will go up. So these are the bolts that came with the sheets, and so what I'm thinking is I'm gonna have to find some washers, well, not washers, the nuts for it, and do the same thing I did on the seat and just tap it in here, and just because this would be not enough thread to thread it, especially for a seatbelt. So I'm just gonna weld that in like this. Or the other option is I can always weld this part in like this, and then have it bolt down like this, and then I can have just a nut go on top. So I can find some and go on from there. Or I might just leave it all behind and attach the seats to the roll cage instead of the floor. So anyway, this thing's all bolted on. Now I have to build one on this side, and so I'm gonna slide it all down and then build one and then take off the rail and see how it looks like. And it should hold it completely straight, because that rail over there is just crap. I took it apart and it just fell apart. So once you bolt it on, it does its job. Once you take it off, you have no measurements. You can't even mark off where you need stuff and all that stuff. So anyway, I'm gonna do another plate over here. All right, guys. So I got this thing all welded up, and I just gotta put it in like that, and then I'm gonna weld all the way through this and this and over there, and I'm gonna tack weld it first, and then test the seat, see how it feels, see how it fits or not. And once everything's done, then I'm gonna take it apart and just go crazy on it, so that way it's super. Like this stuff right here, I got this 2x2 welded up to this thing, and it's gonna be holding it in place for a long time. So yeah, that's the plan. I'm gonna tack weld it, throw the seat on there, and then see how it feels. I got the seat in, and I got it almost centered. I got a little bit more room on this side, but there's gonna be a lot of wires going through here, and then I got a few inches on this side. And this is how the seat will be. Push all the way back. There's no room in the back, but it looks pretty good. And if you do like the whole test, my legs are all the way up to the front, and this feels pretty comfortable. All right, guys, so I tested my seat. I went in and I tried to see where I'm gonna hook this up, and I think I got it figured out. So I need 4 bolts. I got 3 right here. Could go find the 4th one, and 4 nuts. And so the idea is for the top strap, it's gonna go right on the side. So this thing is actually upside down or on the sides, and I drilled out some holes, and I'm gonna weld this nut to this right here like this, and then I'm also gonna weld this one up here. And so what's gonna happen is when you take one of these straps, when they're gonna connect, they're gonna just bolt on like this, and then they're gonna be facing up, and that should be pretty sturdy. I might change these straps onto the roll cage I'm gonna weld sometime in the future, but for the meantime I'm just gonna add these nuts and bolts, whatnot, and I'm gonna have this right here for the top strap, and then the straps on the sides, these ones on the sides, they're gonna go right here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take one of these, I picked these up at the steel store, and I'm gonna weld a nut on this side, and then I'm gonna put it inside and do it more of a professional look to it. So you're gonna have this, I'm gonna cut it 2 sides, and then have it like that basically, and then the bolt is gonna just bolt on, and this is gonna go on the side of the seat. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm gonna get it all welded up, put it back into the car, put the seat on, get it all figured out, aligned, and then tack it again. I tack welded this thing into the car, and then I cut it out, realizing I need to weld a bunch more stuff to it. And so it's one of those learn as you go kind of things when first installing bucket seats. So yeah, So that's what I'm doing right now. And once I'm done with that, I will look pretty awesome, or it'll do what it's supposed to do. It might not look awesome, but who cares, because this stuff is all gonna get painted and wrapped and carpeted, so you're not even gonna see half of it. But anyway, let's get right back to it. All right, guys, check it out. This is what my bar looks like. It's really hot. So but I got my bolt welded in here, so you can take one of these, put it in, and that's what it looks like. Also, there's one on this side. So these are all my seatbelt attachment. This one, this one, this one, and on this side I also got that welded in too. So I'm gonna let it cool off, and then I'm gonna put it back on the rails, and then install the seat back, put it in. That rail is gonna go right here, so I'm gonna have to reinforce it, because I got seat belts attached to it and all that other stuff. So I'm gonna have to, once I figure out exactly where I want it, I'm gonna tack weld it and then reinforce all of it, so it's actually pretty sturdy, whatnot. And so yeah, that's how it looks like. I'm gonna let it cool off. All right, guys, so check it out. I welded this whole piece in all the way around here, 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 and then on this piece I got it welded here, here where the old bolts were, and then I added 3 supports here, here, and here, and welded it all in. This one goes at a right angle, comes out this way, and these two coming out this way, so it's gonna support it either way it goes. It's not gonna go anywhere. So that's how it looks like. Also, the bolts that I spent so much time welding onto the side right here, well, I found out that there's a hole right here, and these bolts, there's 2 holes. There's one over here and one over there, and so ta-da. So the nut that I welded inside the tube, the square tube, is kind of useless now, because I got bolts right here. So these are really nice. They're the perfect size, and that's where the old seatbelt buckle thing went. And I didn't really check on it before I welded it, but now I know that I don't need to do that extra step. All right, guys, so I got my seats here. They're nice and dirty now. They used to be new until I start working on them. But anyway, I got my driver's seat rails done. I got this whole thing re-welded. I put in 2x2 some heavy steel into this, and then a 1.5 or 1.75 or 2, I don't know. But anyway, I built this one, but the difference between this one and that one over there is I did not put bolts or nuts on the sides of it. So I have bolts right here, I mean where the bolts can go, right here and over here, and so I didn't have to add anything. I just added one over here and one over here for the seat belts, so for the 4-point harness seat belts. And that's how it looks like. It's not the prettiest. I wasn't going for the prettiest. I was just going for the something sturdy and something tough build. That's gonna last me longer than the car, so I'm happy with it. I'm gonna go in and prime this stuff, and then put some caulk on it or something to smooth out the edges, because some of the stuff you will see, I don't know if the carpet will cover it or will not, but I wanted all black in this whole area. I know the carpet's gonna cover everything besides that tunnel, because the tunnel's it was re-welded, so I'm gonna have to do something different there. But other than that, it should cover all the original panels except these rails. It was not built for these rails because I just built them. Anyway, that was a lot of work. I didn't film anything on the front seat. There is just the same process as the passenger seat, but I'm about to take these seats, install them, have a seat in it, and uninstall everything and put them away. So let's install them right now. And all right guys, so check it out. I got this seat bolted in, I got the harness bolted on, and got the passenger seat bolted on. It's not bolted, it's gonna get unbolted, so I didn't bolt it. But this is how it's gonna look like. I got a few inches of clearance right here. The seat, if you put it forward, barely clears this stuff. So like I can scoot it forward, but this is pretty much how far it's gonna go back. It might be a problem later, it might not be, but for the most part it's gonna be not bad. So I'm gonna actually get in, try not to mess up any of these wires. It's a nightmare, and that's the next thing to do sometime soon. But I'm gonna get in, strap down, pretend I'm going on the safe drive with these 4-point harnesses. This is gonna be a daily. This is not gonna be a race car. This is gonna be a daily. But yeah, let's go try it out. See how it fits, looks, feels, whatnot. All right. This is definitely different than wearing a normal seatbelt. Never had these before. I just figured what's the safest thing for this car since I don't have airbags. But anyway, this is how it looks like. It feels super cramped. I haven't drove this car in a good 6 years, 7 years. So it's gonna be an interesting ride for sure, but it feels really nice. Like, I mean, I'm still on the bricks, so the whole car is lifted off the ground. I figured I'm not gonna put it down because it's so much easier working on this when it's higher up, and but once you lower it and then you get the doors closed, it's gonna be like a compact car. I definitely get that feel with just sitting here and being like, because the seats have these arm things or whatever things on the side, so it feels like it's just like hugging you, and then the seatbelt's just like getting ready to push all the flames out of the exhaust. Yeah, it's gonna be a fun daily driver. It definitely is gonna be a fun ride. But yeah, what do you guys think? It's a good combination, or is this something that's gonna get changed in the future? I don't know yet. I'm really hoping once I get this wiring figured out, because I can't move my legs, and just hoping it'll work out with the steering wheel and the height of it, because it feels a little high, even though I put it the same height as the other seats. But the other seats, they came in low profile as far as I remember. I just sold them the other week, and they're much lower, so I'm hoping I don't have to have too much issues with steering hitting my kneecaps. But actually, let's find it. Actually, I have a steering wheel. Oh man, I can't. One down for all these seatbelts. All right, we got a steering wheel. Oh shit, forgot the steering wheel works. Oh, it's not bad. My leg's clear for the most part, kinda. And let's see if I can raise it. Oh, I can lower it. It's not bad. So this is what it looks like. This is where my legs are. I got about a fist maybe between. So not the best. I'm gonna go see if they have like a little bit smaller steering wheel, because I want to go aftermarket. I don't want to have this Audi wheel. I want to have like the quick release one that I can take off since it's cool, you know, or like the wheels that go up like this, or I don't know, something like that in the future. So it's not going to be this. I just like the idea of having all the key, ignition, all that stuff. I just never liked the steering wheel, but for the meantime it will work perfectly fine until I'll raise some more funds to buy one of these steering wheels. But what do you guys think? Is this a good setup? How does it look? Does it look good in my car? Is it gonna be a fun ride? I can answer that question. Yes, it will be. Yeah, so thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. It was a little confusing. I mean, it wasn't confusing, it was pretty simple. You got bolts and nuts and welder and a lot of welding. And this metal, the 37-year-old metal that I have to weld into, smells bad. It still had like all this crap around it. And you got the rubber undercoat underneath the floor pan, so when you're welding it, that shit catches on fire and it just starts smoking up the whole shop. And so I'm glad that's over. And so next episode we are coming back. I'm gonna pull these seats out. I don't need them in here anymore until later, like once I'm ready for test driving and stuff. But I want to just have it where I can just, if I want to go for a test drive, throw in 4 bolts I mean, and or 8 bolts for the seatbelt and stuff, and then I would be able to go and quickly test drive without worrying about that. Also, I gotta weld in, or not weld in, I gotta dyno mat the whole floor and clean out everything and start getting it ready to put in the wires. And so since my seats are done, I can actually focus on that. I can focus on cleaning up the interior and wiring everything properly. And I'm gonna do a wire cut and coming up in the future, but that is after I get the engine perfectly running, figure out my vacuums, figure out my water pump, which I picked up today. We're gonna do that next episode probably. And so there's a lot that still needs to be done before it could go anywhere, but at the same time we're getting slowly into that stage where we can take it for a test drive. But yeah, that's it for this episode. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure you let me know down below. And if you guys want to see more, make sure you subscribe. And we'll be back sometime soon with another episode of getting this thing on the road someday. So thanks for watching. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time.